Main sorcerer, bad guy, gets possessed. His name is Medivh. He's Medivh, the sorcerer.
Yeah, Medivh.
King's name?
No, don't know it.
Something with an L.
No, Lothar was the black-haired guy.
Lothar. No, that's
Ragnar.
He was a bad. Yeah, the Viking.
Ragnar's amazing.
So he was Lothar. The kid?
Callahan.
Yes.
Oh,
there you go. He is unimportant. He just is a plot device.
Okay, right.
What do you mean he's unimportant?
The kid.
Joe, this is review.
So you gotta remember, the kid that he points to on his way out, the king points to, Varian, is the current king. In the universe.
Right.
He becomes king of Stormwind.
Yeah, I remember. He's like, you take care of.
You take care of it. That's Varian Rin.
Now the orc that the good orc that we've seen in the trailer. Durotar.
Okay.
And his wife.
I don't remember his wife's name.
Jesus Christ! So that
Too
is
many crazy
that's Warcraft in a nutshell. People like Joe are 100% lost. I am only slightly familiar with this. I thought that there was. Man, this movie goes full speed into the lore. It's like, you better fucking know this shit. This shit's gonna be on the test. Because, although, here, I'll say this. I don't think it was as bad as people was making it out to be. There was a lot of negative buzz around, did you hear this? The movie sucks. It's not very good. I think it was Kotaku that said the movie sucks or something.
No, it wasn't.
Movie does not suck, guys. There was war and there was craft. And you got plenty of craft, and we got plenty of war, and I'm happy on that, okay? And so for me, it was an entertaining movie, but what was happening there is I was getting a crash course from Del because he knows quite a bit of it.
Oh, he does.
And
but he was talking about it the entire way. I was like, I'm lost. I don't know what you're talking about, Del.
So Joe hasn't played any of the games. I played the RTSs. Del has played the RTSs and the World of Warcraft and all of the Blizzard titles that have the heroes in it.
I've given them a
He's
lot
our
of money.
encyclopedia today.
Yeah. So I think that I'm happy to report that the film is entertaining. You definitely get your money's worth, in my opinion. I felt like the second act was a little weak, started to drag, and as you see there, I have no idea who anybody's name is. But that's why we have Del here. Del, what did you think of the film as a fan of Blizzard and as a fan of Warcraft and knowing all these people?
So I thought it was a good movie, except for the love stuff, which didn't need to be in the movie. And that was
you just wanted war.
Okay, so it was like 2 hours long. If they would have cut out the love stuff, it would have been like an hour and a half. Movie would have been fucking great.
Okay, you're talking. What love stuff are you talking about? Because the love stuff between
Garona and Lothar.
Garona and Lothar.
Yeah.
You felt that didn't work?
Yeah, it didn't work. It was very rushed and it went nowhere. Like, when I mean rushed,
they gave them each other look, and they're already caressing
they were like
each other's
the first
faces.
5 minutes of meeting each other. He's like, "I want you."
And no, I think it was she wanted him.
It's done, Del. That's how it's done.
It's just like you just pick ladies up just like that. You're like,
this motherfucker kills orcs on his bare feet, man. He's a badass.
She was like, I want that.
I want that hunk of man. I want that Viking meat.
It was just like instant. There was no build up. He was just like, hey.
So I'm happy that there is a... Okay, so I'm going to make an admission right now. This is no Tolkien, okay? This is no J.R.R. Tolkien, okay? But I love new epics. I love new operas, space operas. But this obviously isn't sci-fi. This is fantasy. And so I think there's room in the cinematic universe for a Warcraft and a Warcraft franchise. You can see desperately the film wants to set up multiple sequels.
Dude, I want the Arthas storyline.
Okay, me too.
That's all I want, dude. I want Arthas and Illidan.
That's the point I'm making, is that go out and see this film so that we can maybe see better storylines, because this one was sort of the beginning of the beginning, and there wasn't a whole lot there. Yeah, Warcraft 1 and a little bit of 2.
Beyond the Dark Portal and stuff. Yeah.
So I liked that part, but you're right, the love didn't work.
No.
There were so many characters and so much lore. You felt like, should I know this? And I'm searching my brain data banks of like, did I meet that character? Did I see him in the game?
I knew everything.
I was overwhelmed. I was like, whose name is who? What the fuck is going on?
So that's what happens with your average audience member. So I am wondering how this movie is going to. That's probably why people are like, "This fucking movie sucks." I have no idea.
I still like it though. I still really like it.
So many characters.
Thurgood Marshall was one of his names, right?
Thurgood, what?
Tartar.
No.
Tartar.
Azeroth is the name of the land.
Yeah,
For Azeroth, for the Alliance.
I like magic, fantasy, medieval, and it had all that. I had a whole bunch of action. I loved it.
So it was a longer movie, but I want to say that there wasn't enough time to form an emotional connection with the characters. So when people die, when there's a sad part, you don't really feel, the emotion doesn't hit you. And that is because I think that they put too many characters in it. Maybe they should have done a fewer characters. I know you're trying to tell the story of Warcraft, and I know you're trying to tell the beginnings, and there's so much, because a game is like, fucking 12, 20 hours long, depending on which games you're playing. And so they gotta find a way to condense it. So it actually, if you think about it like that, getting all those characters into like 2 hours or under, that's pretty fucking hard. But that's why I think that maybe the director and the screenwriter should have worked on a different angle and fewer characters, and when it would have turned out to be a smarter movie and a shorter movie and a better movie. But I think it's desperately trying to set up a sequels, and that is one of the weaknesses of the film, where there are so many unanswered things, and I don't really feel all that satisfied. I was like, where's the war? And I was waiting for war in Warcraft, but we do get it. You do eventually get it in the final battle, and it is awesome. And it's just so cool to see live action, yet by the time the war comes along, that's probably full ass CGI right there. Of the humans in their badass armor going up against.
Dude, I loved the armor.
Yeah, I love the armor, and a lot of people
were so
cool, and it was so game accurate. Now I know maybe in the game they're even bigger. I mean,
Stormwind. A lot of Stormwind guys are huge.
Way bigger than that, but it's a movie, and they want to add their own style to it, and it probably would look ridiculous. Let's be honest. So I thought they did a great job of the lore, the cities, the cinematography, the action. I could see everything clearly. There wasn't any shaky cam, so the action scenes were great. In my opinion, it's a movie that's worth seeing. I don't want to throw in any spoilers, though. If you've played Warcraft 1 and 2, you pretty much know it all. Joe, do you have anything else you want to say? Favorite parts of the film, anything like that?
The half-breed, huh?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Am I right?
No?
Yeah, there you go. Are you talking about Garona?
It's pretty hot.
You thought the half-breed over
Hey, dude.
No, I don't know. She looks kind of goofy with the whole thing.
So I gotta be completely honest. Her speaking like perfect English was it threw me off so much, because like she just learned the language in like 2 days, and she's like, "Well, hello, sir. It's an honor to meet you." And you're like, "What?
Yeah.
No, you're supposed to be like Zug Zug and things like that."
Zug Zug.
So, Dabu.
Damn it! I didn't hear any. I need more work, or I didn't hear any of the unit things. I think there were a few little pieces of fan service. I was expecting more, but there wasn't. Somebody got polymorphed. Somebody got put into a sheep, and
the orcs were yelling Loktar Ogar.
Yeah. There were a few ones in there, so I appreciated that from the RTS side. What about World of Warcraft? Because I didn't play that game.
So they had Khadgar, which was cool. He's the new Guardian. They had Medivh. They had that storyline set up with Sargeras and everything, which was pretty cool.
Yeah. I want to see more dwarves. I want to see more elves.
Fuck yeah, dwarves, dude. They showed Ironforge, which is their capital.
Yeah.
Which was really cool. And they even went so far as, I think one of the coolest scenes for me was there was a scene with a golem, and he puts his hand in like the fell energy, and he becomes an infernal.
Yeah, when he turns black, right?
He turns black.
Yeah,
and
so
like,
if you've played the games, you know what an infernal is. It's a unit in Warcraft 3.
They rain from the sky. They're really cool.
So there was. So are you saying there was enough there for? Well, in fact, my argument is there was too much for fans and not enough. It was all this side and not enough this side for Joe to understand what the fuck is going on and form an attachment to these characters. And you know what? I really like that Viking dude. I think he's so cool. But to hold a movie on his own, because honestly, you have a bunch of CGI characters that you don't grow an attachment to, and you've got what's the chick's name? Garona. He was pretty much holding this movie up himself. And for the Viking guy to do it himself, he's got this cool demeanor to him, but I don't know. There's just lacking a little bit of charisma, or there's a little bit of fakeness to it. Not fakeness, but just a little out of place. Maybe because I've been watching way too much Vikings lately.
Okay,
I don't know.
No. He was like a less charismatic Aragorn. He even had the black hair and everything from Lord of the... Like, he reminded me a lot of Aragorn from Lord of the Rings. He becomes king and stuff, but he just didn't have that charisma to pull it in. But he was a badass.
But everything, as far as getting the world and setting the world up right, they did that right. The Griffin is so fucking awesome. What about the wolves on the orc side was so cool, trying to protect its master. So it's definitely going out. It's definitely worth seeing. Don't listen to people that, this is the worst film ever. Trust me, it's not, okay? If you saved your money from listening to us about Ninja Turtles, go out and see Warcraft, but it comes with a big asterisk. You're going to have no idea what the fuck is going on, but your eyes will be entertained, your senses will be entertained, and you will feel like, if you're a fan, it's being done justice. But we need to rush through this shit and get to the good stuff in the universe.
I got to point out the CGI was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
The CGI was
amazing. It starts off like that. The first scene where he's got so much emotion on this orc's face. And I was actually worried that as orcs, there's been live action orcs in the past that they're not expressive. They're either like rubber or they just don't, show any emotion. And these was good. And in fact, they were almost a little too human at the beginning. They're rolling around on their bear skins, laughing like the husband and wife about their kids. I'm like,
orcs are people too.
Orcs are people too.
They're in a war band right now. They're going to battle. Ain't no beef.
You're racist right now.
No, I'm not.
Orcsism, dude.
Alliance.
You're already first. You hate orcs.
So let's do our final verdicts for Warcraft, and we will start with Other Joe and I was gonna start with this guy since he is a huge fan of the Warcraft and knows the lore. But I want to know from your perspective, somebody that hasn't played the games, did the movie work for you?
Yes, it did. Like I said before, I love the magic. I love medieval times, and it had a whole bunch of action. The CGI was on point. So with that being said, I'm gonna give this an 8.
Mm-hmm.
An 8
wow.
out of 10.
Okay.
I really liked it. That's pretty good. Like,
even with the characters flying by, you have no idea who any of the characters are.
Like, obviously,
you can't remember any of their names.
I remember faces. So
and age. Okay, all right. Well, I'm not going to judge you, Joe.
I still enjoyed this movie. I don't know if it's because we've been watching shitty movies.
We have been watching a lot of shitty movies.
Finally.
It's not a shitty movie,
guys.
It's
not.
And the theater was pretty okay.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot.
Oh, you like the flicks?
Yeah, it was better than...
Flicks Brewhouse?
It was better than the Alamo.
Yeah, it's still better than the Alamo. Okay. Now, true lore lover, true fan of the Blizzard lore, how do you think they did on their first outing?
So, minus the love story, they got most of it really accurate. Mm-hmm. And I didn't feel like anyone was out of place, like, as far as how people were acting and stuff. So, I gotta give it a 7, just because it was one of the weaker stories they could have gone with. If they would have gone, like, with full Arthas, like, going evil, like... Done like a Star Wars type of thing with like Arthas turning dark side.
In my opinion,
you gotta come out with your biggest
come out
guns.
swinging, right? You're Blizzard, okay, and you have this reputation in the gaming community of just whipping ass, right?
Yeah.
So when you come to the movies, you've got to show everybody up, and you've got to bring it hard. So I think you would have been doing better with a stronger story, and then maybe have gone back and done a prequel and mixed it with other elements or whatever. Just start your franchise.
I think they're saving Arthas for like the sequel. And honestly,
no, I think they're gonna wait till the third movie.
I think they should have just come straight out with him because a lot of our generation knows who the Arthas is because of the Lich King and Warcraft 3 stuff.
Yeah,
like
but
that.
are they gonna? Do you think that Blizzard is eventually gonna get to the pandas?
No, do not do pandas again.
Oh my God, no, it's in there.
No fucking pandas.
They exist.
No, they're dumb.
No,
they don't
they exist in the lore.
They're all dead.
No, they're not.
They're all dead.
They're just gonna
They
explain.
were wiped out.
No, they're all dead.
Cataclysmic event gone.
Lothar looks at you like, There's no fucking pandas.
There's no pandas,
They're all
dude.
dead.
So with that being said, you hate pandas.
Panda.
Okay, so if they ever bring
Panda. That's that new rap song that Joe's been playing in his fucking car.
It's not me.
Panda.
It's the radio.
No panda.
Anyways, so 7 out of 10. Now I was wavering because I don't think it's a terrible film, and I think it's entertaining. I think it's a slightly above average. I want to give it. I honestly want to give it a 6 out of 10. I think it is capable of a 7 out of 10, but this is one that's really tough because it just, even though it's a longer movie, I don't remember a single character's name, and that's not necessarily, you know, it is the movie's fault.
What is Warlock?
I was gonna say it's not the movie's fault, but it is the movie's fault.
What's the Warlock's name?
Moradel.
Goal. What's the other half? Gul'dan. There you go. He got it. Other Joe got it. Gul'dan. He was like the coolest character in the movie.
Okay, what about?
I know the story.
Okay, what about the younger mage character? The younger mage character.
That was Khadgar.
Okay, I like that guy.
Khadgar was a fucking badass.
I thought that was fucking cool. And so I'm wavering, and you know what? No, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10 because I think that they got everything right. Besides the story and the connection with the characters, okay, and explaining it for mass audiences. So I'm kind of in the middle of Joe. Well, actually, Joe rated it quite high, but I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10.
I don't know the other stories you're talking about. This is a new story, and I like the story. So apparently, there's better ones.
There's really awesome stories,
like
Joe. And then there's possibilities they can go beyond what we've already seen in the video games if it does well enough. So. That's why I want to give it a 6 out of 10, but I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 so you guys go out and see it so that enough people will see it and we may get, I hope it's doing well in the theaters. I hear, you know, with some of the negative buzz, maybe we won't get another one. But, okay, as far as a video game movie, I'm still going to put Mortal Kombat above this. In my own opinion, I still think Mortal Kombat, the original with Christopher Lambert, is the better video game adaptation. But this I'm putting at number 2. So Warcraft, the movie, is the second best movie licensed video game. And when I'm saying it's, you know, based on the games, not adaptations or changes.
Are you counting Wing Commander? Because Wing Commander is a really good movie.
Awful.
That was a really good movie.
I liked it, but it was a guilty pleasure. Yeah. But it's terrible. It was a terrible film. Anyway, the Wing Commander games were way better.
They were way better than the movie, but it was
Mark
a good
Hamill.
movie.
All right. Anyways, so Warhammer, it's not as bad as people say.
World of Warcraft.
Did I say Warhammer?
You said Warhammer.
Actually, you know what? No, you actually, you know what? And that might be when I went up to a 7 because I'm one step closer to getting maybe a Games Workshop movie. That would be amazing. So that's kind of want Warcraft to do well so we can see Warhammer and Warhammer 40,000. All right, guys. Well, we'll see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.
See you guys.
The